So, welcome back to Into the Infinity Verse, where I talk about certain aspects of the Infinity Verse. And today I'm going to be talking about something I wasn't really going to be honest, I wasn't thinking about doing like a Into the Infinity Verse video so soon after the last one. But I kind of felt like we've kind of gotten to a point where I was like, alright, I gotta address some shit about this certain aspect, and maybe I can talk about some other stuff too. And the certain aspect I am talking about today is, well, I am basically going to be talking about all the Kim Possible part of the universe, particularly why Kim Possible's, but kind of like, as I've seen through recent comments, and Jason's brought this up too, is like, hey, I don't think they get what we're trying to do with Kim Possible. I don't think they get it, so I'm here to like address shit. So yeah, I'm just here to like kind of like clear the air because I am fully aware, what Jason and I are doing with the characters isn't considered normal, and in the end of the day, it's all fan fiction. But yeah, there's a method to the madness. But someone said, oh, you're trying to be as dark as the Snyder universe, and I kind of took offense to that, because this is nothing like the Scott Snyder movies for Justice League and all that. So, I was kind of like, alright, I guess I gotta talk about stuff. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. So let's talk about Kim directly. Let's talk about that character directly. So Kim, for those who don't know, Kim is one of the 7 leaders of the Infinity League. And in fact, the one who kind of like formed the original 6 members. So in here, Kim was like the one who kind of like formed stuff under like the request of Dr. Director, the leader of the GJN. And Kim has basically become kind of like colder. She's kind of like the more aggressive one. Usually her and Danny are like on the opposite ends of the board when it comes to like handling situations. And people have kind of said, well, this is this doesn't feel right in your character. And to which I say, it actually, when you really think about it, Kim as a character, and if you've seen like a whole marathon of the show, like you would kind of realize this isn't too far from where she would stray. Let me explain. Basically, Kim has, as you guys know, she has a desire to be in control. She has this, she puts way too much pressure on herself to be like kind of a perfectionist, even though she doesn't want to say that out loud. But yeah, Kim has a desire, this inherent competitiveness and desire for total control. Remember how like she tried to, do like 10 things at once, and it was all out of her control, and how it angered her, and how she kind of tends to be competitive even at the whole superheroing thing. Remember like that episode where you're introduced to where she and Will Do teamed up for the first time, and Kim was kind of like, I don't need you, I'm a solo act, excluding Ron and Rufus. But yeah, so imagine that level of like, I don't need, my way is sound, my way works, but on a new degree, where she's not only working alongside 6 other people to reach a consensus on something, but basically a whole team, just a whole army of superpowered beings, superpowers she doesn't have. And basically she is, kind of feeling like kind of inadequate. She's kind of feeling like, I need to be in control, and I'm now like in charge of all of this, so I need to step it up. So her version of stepping it up, as we've come to realize if you've seen the show, is go to 11, but have someone there to pull her back down to reality. And I assure you that moment is coming up. Did you really think we were just going to make Kim heartless and cold intentionally? No, there's a goddamn reason to this. That's the big thing, is that there is a reason for why Kim is so cold and stuff. That would just be her character progression if she was on a superhero team. Like, when you really think about it, this isn't far from where she would be if she was on a team of superheroes. She would be constantly, a lot of people say like, oh, she'd be such a team player. Yes, but she'd have to like come to accept that she's not a solo act anymore. She would have to really like accept that, because remember, this is a girl who is the daughter of a brain surgeon and a rocket scientist, and also is the head of a cheer team, and still saves the world on a constant basis, all by herself. So she has that level of competitiveness as well as that desire for control, that need to like control aspects of her life. And the thing is that realistically, I don't think Kim would understand real quick. I can't, trying to take control or order these people is out of my realm of control. That's the big thing you have to understand, is that this level of control is out of her control. So she's not used to that. And she, the thing is, we all know Kim would be like, oh yeah, I could totally run a team. But the thing is, she's not running the team by herself. She's working with 6 other people who have all of their own opinions, strengths, and weaknesses. And honestly, that would clash with everybody else. That would, honest to God, clash with every other superhero on this team, especially Danny. And, I'm not going to bother burying the lead because everyone and their mother figured this out. When we are going to be doing Civil War at some point. We are going to be doing a Civil War in the Infinityverse at some point. So, it would, you already know what side she's going to be on. We did, and admittedly, since it is fanfiction, we did take a little bit of, and put a little bit of Tony Stark's kind of like paranoia in there, a little bit of Tony Stark's paranoia in there. And remember, Kim right now in Dark Phoenix is dealing with something she's hardly ever combated. A world-ending event. She's basically combating something that could end the world. Not like rule it or take over. The closest she came to like a world-ending event was the Lewardian invasion at the end of the series, and she didn't beat that. That was Ron at the end. That was Ron and Draken Ron and Shigo, excuse me, that did that. Not her. She that in our continuity kind of fucked her up a little bit. That she in the end she wasn't the the one to quote unquote really save the world. So the she's never really so putting that pressure of I'm now fighting a world-ending event she's gonna think like crossing lines is going to be my the closest thing I can do. The closest thing I can do is just essentially take these steps because even though, yes, and I think I've talked about this before, in the Infinityverse, a lot of the superheroes are older. They're not, some of them are teenagers, but the main 6 leaders, I should say, outside of Optimus, because he's already older, they're all older. They've been doing this for a while. Kim, Danny, they're at least 20. They're at least in their 20s right now, as well as, Randy's 18. He's going on 19. Shizao's also in her early 20s. Her 20s. I guess you could say, why am I pronouns. Of course Guy would refer to himself, especially when we're doing the God damn, I'm sorry, this is a lot to explain, and I think I've done a Shizao video, but Shizao is in her early 20s as well. As is Jake, he's getting up there. So they've been doing this a while, and over the years, they've been basically having their own little problems. And Kim, while she does go to therapy, she doesn't go to it a lot, because she's thinking, I'm impossible, I can do anything, I can handle a little mental trauma. No, you cannot, sweetheart. So there's that. So yes, we know what we're doing with Kim. And yes, she is coming off cold, a little bit cruel, but in her head, it's like, this is for the greater good. The greater good. I had to do that reference. For her, this is her way of trying to compensate. Because she's, again, this is something, she's never encountered. The Phoenix is a planet killer. So, the actions she's been taking is kind of these steps that are illogical, but in her head it's this is the only way I think I know how to beat this thing. And if I gotta step on some toes, then guess what, I gotta if I gotta make some enemies in my own team, then so be it, so long as the fucking planet's safe. So so I know, so so don't worry, we know we're going with Kim, but is she going to be this cold and cruel and all that all the time? No. she's not. I'm not gonna say how she kind of like wakes up from that, but yeah, she's not gonna be, because Civil War's a little bit away. So, but in case you haven't noticed, we're kind of putting seeds in for future stuff. So, yeah. Did you not think we were going to have like some elements like, okay, build it up here? So obviously we were going to have like moments where it's like, okay, we're sowing the seeds for Civil War. So, and you already know which side Kim's already going to be on. So, you know. But she's not going to be like that all the time. Don't worry, she's not going to be like something out of a Zack. Did I say Scott Snyder earlier? Zack Snyder movie. She's not going to be like a Zack Snyder character in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, she is going to have that kind of bite to her. She is going to have that bite to her, but not all the time. So yeah, yeah. What else did I want to say? Is she still with Ron? Yes. Her and Ron, like, the reason why you don't see a lot of Ron in the Infinity Verse is because Ron, even though he's still with Kim, is like, yeah, I'm part of the team. I wasn't considered a leader because he's like, yeah, I'm not leader material, Kim is. So he is part of the team and is more of a supporter to her than anything else, as is Rufus. So, you know, Ron is like her, you know, her little ray of light that pulls her back. You know, it's that little thing that pulls her back from the edge. You know, so there's what Ron's been up to. Draken and Shigo, still bad guys, And you may be thinking, well, this is after Lewardian stuff. Aren't they redeemed? Well, yeah, but and I've wanted to write this for a little bit, is that Draken just couldn't handle being good, so he just went, you know, he went back to being a villain, and Shigo was just like, this is fun, and went off to follow him. So there is that. As for the Global Justice Network, I think all of you can agree. All of you guys have figured out. Yeah, this is obviously our stand-in for Shield, with Dr. Director as our Nick Fury, and doesn't do a lot of, and like Nick Fury, does a lot of, you know, really shady shit, along with Will Do, who is the leader of the secret group the secret team known as Task Force M, which is made of the Grimwood Girls, who are like the GJN's Black Ops team, as well as their superhero deterrent, meaning that if a superhero goes rogue, Will and his team go in and dispatch them. Will himself, in a spotlight early in the Infinity Verse, was killed, but Elsa brought him back using a formula that was being used to create zombies by Millennium from Hellsing. And essentially what that did was, it's the serum, a refined version of the serum from Overlord. Some people guess, like, is that supposed to be like a reference to the movie Overlord? Yes. He has the Overlord serum inside of him. And there's also other people who work for the GJN, one being, and I'm not going to spoil like who else is in there, but I will say, because we've kind of we've already said, yeah, he's part of the group as well. Another member of the team, Herbert West. Herbert West is part of the Global Justice Network, and is kind of in charge of like their fringe science. He's like really much like their, if it's weird, deals with paranormal stuff or weird paranormal medical stuff, yeah, he's in charge of it, and in return, he gets to work in peace to refine his reanimator serum. So, his reanimation agent. So he gets to really play with that. But yeah, but like I said, the main crux of this video is just to talk about, we know Kim is being an asshole, or kind of doing that intentionally. So, but will she be an asshole 24/7? No. But yeah. Given her personality as it is, and given the crisis that's going on, yeah, she would be kind of a bitch. So, yeah. Anyway, so there you go, guys. I was just wanted to do this video more to clear the air than anything else. So, once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.